Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Are you thinking about leaving California and maybe relocating to Tennessee? Well, I get a lot of sellers in California looking to sell their home, and I always ask them, where are you planning on going? And I'm getting a lot more people saying Tennessee, so I took a look at Tennessee and what the attraction is, and in this video we are going to cover moving to Tennessee and what the differences between California and Tennessee are. So stick around and let's get to it right now. First things first, let's talk about some of the reasons why people would be leaving California and moving to Tennessee. It might be obvious. There's, the cost of living in California is tremendous. When you take into consideration the cost of fueling your car, we're at about $6 a gallon right now in California. Out in Tennessee, they're at about $3.50-ish. Taxes, there's no state income tax in Tennessee. California, they're pretty much taxing you on everything. Electric bill, in California is going to probably be about twice as much as you would pay in Tennessee. Housing prices, again, for a like a 2,500 square foot home outside of Nashville. And again, Nashville is it's like one of the top real estate markets right now. Homes there are going to run you, for the same 2,500 square foot home, you're going to pay in California $800,000-900,000 plus. You can find homes out there for $350,000, $400,000. So, I mean, it's cost of living is going to be a lot lower there. So that's pretty much the first thing that we're going to talk about today. And real quick before I go any further, if you're in California and you're looking to make a move to Tennessee, I can connect you with a reliable realtor in Tennessee as well. If you need help selling your house, you need comps on your house, I can run comps for you, no obligation at all. Just hit me up, and I might even take care of you a little bit better if you mention that you saw this on the video. Now, when you take a look at, Tennessee versus, let's say, Texas, for instance. In Texas, the property taxes are a lot higher. There are no state income taxes in Texas either, just like Tennessee, Florida. But the property taxes in Texas, and I've spoken to clients that have actually moved out of California and went to Texas, and yeah, they love it there, but the taxes on the homes are a lot higher. Tennessee, the state tax starts at about 0.56%, and you're averaging about 1.3%, 1.2, 1.3% on property taxes out there. What does that mean? California, we're averaging about 1.1, 1.2, but then you have like special assessment taxes in certain areas. So it's pretty comparable to the property taxes. It's the cost of the home. So again, you're going to find homes in Tennessee that are going to have more space around them for less, like at least half of what you're going to pay in California. If you're looking in California, and you're in Orange County along the beaches, for a 1,600 square foot home in Seal Beach, you're looking at about 1.6 million. Huntington Beach, you can find them probably around 1.3, 1.4. Newport Beach, even more expensive. So for a comparable home out there, you're looking at probably about 450. Of course, you can spend as much as you want out there too, but if you're looking to decrease your overall cost of living, that's probably one of the better states that I've found so far. Quick, if this is your first time to the channel, subscribe and tap the notification bell so that you'll be the first to know about the real estate market in Southern California. My name is Steve Batiste and I'm the broker owner of Next Home West Realty, and we get calls, emails, and texts every single day from people just like you looking to make their move into Southern California. So if that's you, don't be shy. Give me a call, send me a text, or shoot me an email. I'd love to help you make a smooth transition into the area. Now, let's talk about your quality of life. California, there's no doubt that the weather out here in California is unbeatable anywhere you go. One of the things that keeps me in the area is I don't like mosquitoes. Tennessee, you're going to have more mosquitoes. We have them in California, but not as bad. It's a more desert climate out here. In Tennessee, you're going to have more of, they're going to have all 4 seasons, more humidity during the summer, but still, very, very good weather conditions, right there in the mid-south. I call it mid-south, yeah. California, we're a lot of places in California are really close to the beach. If you're in Tennessee, you're going to have to drive a ways or get on a plane to go visit the beach. There are a lot of lakes in Tennessee, like really big lakes. I mean, we say we have lakes in California. There's no comparison. I mean, the lakes in California are like little small, like puddles compared to what they have out in Tennessee. So if you like being around the water, and you have, a budget to buy a home in California, let's say $1.6 million to be by the ocean, for $1.6 million, you can be right on the lake, in certain parts of Tennessee, probably even less than that. So, keep that in mind. There's a lot of things to do in Southern California. I mean, we have LA, we have San Diego, Riverside, where you're close to Palm Springs, you're close to the mountains. You can go skiing and go out to the desert and ride dune buggies, go down to the beach and go, swimming, go surfing. And a lot of times, if you wanted to do all 3 in the same day, you could do it. You start early enough in the morning, you could do it. Tennessee, there's going to be a lot of things to do there as well. If you're in Nashville, you're in Music City, USA, a lot of theme parks, again, the lakes with the boating on the lakes, go water skiing. So there's still a lot of things to do. It's just different. It's a different, vibe. The other thing about Tennessee is, as far as the politics go, California, we have a lot of wacky laws out here. The state's constantly going after our Second Amendment rights in California. Tennessee, a lot different. So, if I want to buy a firearm in California, I got to go to the gun store, fill out, paperwork, get a background check, wait 10 days. It's getting ridiculous. So, things are definitely going to be different, as far as, laws and your political intrusion into your life than they are in California. But, it kind of just really depends on what you are looking for. Now, remember, Tennessee is not just Nashville. You have Memphis, Chattanooga. There's a lot of fairly decent-sized cities in Tennessee. Memphis is a nice, actually probably going to be a lot less expensive to live in than, say, Nashville. And there's still a lot to do in Chattanooga, Knoxville. There's plenty to do. It's quite a big state. So don't just, a lot of people want to move to Nashville, and Nashville is a very hot real estate market right now. But there are other options. If you're working remotely, sky's the limit. I would just, keep in mind, one of the reasons to actually move out of California or exit California would be to lower your overall costs and increase your, quality of life or, quality of living, right? So if you're going to make a move like that, if you're going to go to, if you're leaving California, just keep in mind, no state taxes. Overall, everything's going to be cheaper. Groceries, gas, electric bill, insurance for your car. You probably have to, when you go to the DMV to get your license renewed in California, set an appointment, because if you don't, you're going to be there 4 hours just sitting there waiting. It's incredible how our government in California, one of the highest taxes, income tax in the country, highest gas taxes in the country, vehicle taxes, everything's like extremely high out here. And then we go to the DMV and you gotta wait. And also just keep in mind that the lifestyle change from moving to from California to Tennessee can be kind of drastic. It really depends on where you are living in California right now. If you're near the beach, I live about a block from the beach, and I haven't been to the beach in, I'm kind of ashamed to say it, but I haven't been to the beach in about a year. I walk by it every day. I walk, down by the ocean every day, but I haven't actually been to the beach. You get complacent and you don't know what you're missing till it's gone. But moving to a place where there is no beach right close to you, it can be a change. It can be a kind of a shock to the system. So just keep that in mind. Do your homework. If you need anything, I'm here for you. So talk to you next time.